How did you start Ticketwala? Like, what gave the idea?
But it's been about 6 years since we actually launched the platform. So we
Okay.
launched in 2019. Myself, my two co-founders, Zayan and Rehan. We've been best friends since we were kids.
And what was the toughest days like when you were building this brand?
We had no experience in the real world.
Yeah.
In terms of none of us had any actual job experience. None of us had.
Hi guys, Unscripted with Payfast. This is your host Nakia Hassan, and let's welcome Zayan Bhamani, the mind behind Ticketwala, which is Pakistan's biggest live entertainment marketplace. Hi Zayan, how are you?
Hi, Nakia. Thanks for having me today.
You're welcome. So let's just start and let's tell our audience about how did you start Ticketwala? Like, what gave the idea?
So Ticketwala is Pakistan's largest live entertainment
Yeah.
marketplace today. But it's been about 6 years since we actually launched the platform. So we
Okay.
launched in 2019. Myself, my two co-founders, Zayan and Rehan. We've been best friends since we were kids.
Yeah.
Always within the entertainment and event space when we were in school. We did events while we were in school here in Pakistan, and then when we moved abroad for university,
Yeah.
the three of us went to different places. So I went to the UK,
That's nice.
Rehan went to the US, and went to Turkey, and we were all doing events in those countries as well. So it was just a natural progression for us to want to get into this space when we
Yeah.
moved back to Pakistan. And when we did finally move back, we saw that the live entertainment market in general in Pakistan was just extremely fragmented. So
Yeah.
there were ticketing platforms that were around. They had been around for probably 7 years or so before we launched, but nobody knew what was actually going on.
Going around, yeah.
Right? So the whole issue was there was stuff to do. There was a lot of stuff to do, but on everyone's mind it was just food. And there's nothing else other
Nothing
than
else
going
other than
to eat,
food,
and that's
yeah.
about it. And we were like, that's just not right. There's a ton of stuff to do. There's something for everyone, literally every niche. And chalo, even at that time, there was maybe at most 100 e-ticketed events a
Yeah.
year. Okay, which also majority people didn't know about. Today we do over 200 a month.
That's
So
nice.
the
Amazing.
market has grown exponentially since then. But I mean, to address your point, we started because we wanted to fill that consumer gap,
You
right?
wanted to bridge the gap.
Yeah, we want to
Yeah.
bridge that gap, right? We were like, if people don't know about what's going on, how are they going to access it?
True, true,
And
true, which
so
is so true.
the complete base had to be built first, which was first tell everyone about what's happening and then sell tickets to it and so
On
forth.
online platform.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what was the toughest days like when you were building this brand?
All of it.
Awareness, recognition, what was?
All of it. I mean, we had no experience in the real world.
Yeah.
In terms of none of us had any actual job experience. None of us had
It was just
done
an idea
business
you guys
as such
wanted to
before.
bring.
Yeah, like we saw that there was a gap and it needed to be filled, and it was something we were already passionate about, and we were best friends that could gel together very well in a work environment as well, as we found out over time. And so we just got into it, but it was difficult from the start because of that lack of experience. Like,
Yeah.
today, if you ask any of us, we'll probably still tell you that we wish we actually had some real world experience before we did this, because it made a lot of things easier. And so we learned on the job. And
Yeah.
obviously you learn a lot faster when you keep failing and things don't
You
work
make
out.
mistakes and you learn from
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
exactly. So it's been good like that. In terms of the toughest moments,
Yeah.
the single toughest moment was probably COVID, of course.
I'm sure. Yeah.
We launched 3 months before COVID with our
Oh,
MVP.
shit.
Yeah, so we were a blog for the first year, talking about all the different things happening, right? And then by the time we actually launched our MVP, it was 3 months, and then COVID hit. We had no money left. We had blown through our entire family and friends round, which was basically just my mum and a friend of ours who had put some money in so that we could essentially just get started, build the website and
Yeah.
whatnot. And that website really, really sucked. Okay, so uh, COVID was very difficult. Entertainment was the first thing to go, the last thing to come back. We had no money. We had to let go of any employees we did have. Obviously, we were not taking salaries ourselves.
Yeah.
We shut down our office. And so it was extremely near death, right? There were no events happening. And so we cried about it for a little while, and then we were like, okay, no, we've got to make this thing work one way or another. and we found an opportunity within that, you know.
Yeah.
So we grabbed that opportunity, which was basically just none of the other platforms were doing anything.
Hmm.
They were just waiting for COVID to ease up. And so during that time, we doubled our efforts. And
So
we
COVID was basically your breakthrough point.
Exactly. So COVID was also the hardest moment,
Yeah.
but it was also the best thing that ever happened to
Happened
us.
to Ticketwala and
Yeah,
you guys.
exactly.
And what did you feel like when you knew that, oh, Ticketwala has grown into this big platform? How did you feel? How do you feel now?
Right after COVID, because we went from basically no market share
Hmm.
to majority market share overnight. Because during COVID, we, like I said, we doubled down on our efforts. We
Yeah.
signed on pretty much all the top organizers on exclusivity with us. And so as soon as things reopened, they were working with us. And so we just went straight to the top. So that, I mean, that was an incredible feeling on its
I'm
own,
sure.
obviously. So it was the worst and the best thing that ever happened.
Ever happened to you guys?
Yeah.
Like how the PayFast is the digital payment platform for all, and Ticketwala is the digital ticketing platform for all. So do you think you have made it easier for people, for the consumers, for all market, not just the niche that you wanted to target for everyone?
In terms of entertainment,
Yeah.
and yes, our focus has always been about building the entertainment ecosystem, right? So just selling tickets, that's a byproduct of building out the entertainment ecosystem.
Yeah.
So today we don't just sell tickets, right? So we
Hmm.
do your marketing, we do the ticketing, we will help you get sponsors on board, we'll book artists for you, we also manage our own artists, and we'll even set up the entire event for you if you want. And for every organizer that comes on board, we try and consult with them and tell them that, okay, we've seen that this is what works and this is what doesn't work, this is
Makes
what your
sense.
ticket prices should be and whatnot, so once you build out that entertainment ecosystem,
Yeah.
then the ticketing becomes a byproduct. So we found that, okay, when we're working with organizers in all these different ways, we're definitely making their lives a little bit easier on the events front. And for a consumer, as an actual ticket purchaser, they now actually have a place where they can see everything that's going on, which they didn't have before. So there's that discovery channel, and then there's the ease of access where you can just purchase the ticket, from your house and go and get scanned in, and you don't have to wait in lines for 2 hours.
So apart from COVID, was there any other challenge that you faced?
Yeah, every single day.
Like what?
Okay, let's even look at it from the basics of technology, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so when we even built our platform in the beginning, we built it because we had, like I mentioned, we were doing events outside. So we had experience both as ticket purchasers, consumers outside, and also as event organizers outside. And when we had worked with those ticketing platforms, we would list our own events. You would sell your own tickets, market your own event, scan the tickets, and get the money in your account, and that was it. You never spoke to anyone from the ticketing platform to begin with. It was an kind of an automated process, right? Over here, it's completely different. We've done close to 4,000 events in the last couple of years.
Amazing.
And thank you. And one person ever tried to make their own event on our website. Everyone else has wanted you to do it for them.
Yeah.
So abroad, so the basic version of things is that you do it yourself. It's an expectation कि हाँ खुद कर लेंगे. And then the personalized, the customized service, that is the premium. Over here, it's the complete opposite.
Yeah.
You're expected to do things for them, and if you can do it yourself, say, wow, I can do this myself. There's an app.
Yeah, true.
So it's a completely different market. And so when we look at that, just that was some backstory on the product. It's the fact that you have to localize what you're building.
What you're building, yeah.
Right? And so that in itself was difficult because you built something which the market wasn't ready for as such in terms of even the technology, even though that technology sucked at the time. Now it's much, much better.
And people are not aware about it. People still are not aware about it.
Yeah, and it's changing. You have to
It
change
is
that. So
changing,
now we're
yeah.
bringing back the ability to create your own
Yeah.
event because now the market is there. For example, we have a ticketing platform, but we don't have network here.
True.
Right? There's internet issues constantly.
Everywhere, yeah.
Especially if you put 5,000 people in one place, the internet does not work.
Yeah.
And so we had to build a platform that could verify your tickets without internet.
And how did you do that?
So we did that, and I'm not going to give my secrets
Yeah, I
away,
mean,
but we managed to build that, and that became a huge USP for us as well. So there's constantly different challenges that you face when building a company, and it's day to day. These are just a few examples I'm giving. It's an ongoing process. We're learning every day.
but you have overcome all your challenges. And like Ticketwala is a big, like the biggest bank I know right now.
Alhamdulillah, it's
Yeah.
grown. It's grown
And
quite
it's
fast over
growing.
the last couple of years, and it's still growing. Thank
So,
you.
no problem. Can you just tell us about like, your future projects that we can like anticipate or get excited about? Just
So
a hint.
I think similar to Payfast, we are right now focusing on tier two, tier three cities
Yeah.
as well in Pakistan. There's so much that we haven't even scratched the surface of. Okay, in Pakistan in terms of entertainment, even in Karachi, Lahore, Islamabad, which are the main markets for
Main
events, and
markets, yeah.
we do stuff all over the place, but majority of our events are in these three cities. And even within here, like let's say if you look at Karachi, where are your events going to be? Majority of the time it's in defense, for
Yeah.
example. What about all the other areas of Karachi? It's
Yes.
huge, Karachi as a city. And so those themselves are relatively untapped. And then you have all the tier two, tier three cities
Three.
themselves where there's so much money and there is people wanting to go out and do things, but the events are not happening. And so it's about building that entertainment ecosystem, not just in these cities, but all
But
over
for all.
Pakistan.
Yeah.
So on one side we are focused on that, and on the other side we've got an artist management arm. So Hassan Rahim, for example, Tahaji,
Yeah.
for example, of Fuzik, Jani, etc. We've got about 8 artists now under our
Oh,
management.
nice.
They're directly managed by us, and then we can book anyone for you locally or internationally. And so we want to expand that, not just the number of artists that we have,
The
but
number of events.
yeah, but also the number of services we can provide for the artists, the things we can do to help them grow and shape themselves. And rather than the industry which was just booking an artist, we want to take it a step further and strategize for them and even help them export.
So, like to put it like this, if I'm on a book Hassan Rahim, so I'll have to come to Ticketwala. Okay. So basically it's an entire platform apart from just ticketing.
Yeah. So at the front, I think most people think it's just ticketing,
Yeah.
marketing, but
That
we do
the name
so much
gives it
more.
away, right? Ticketwala.
Yeah, of course.
But how do you feel like when bringing you back to pay fast, when like as a consumer, when I go to Ticketswala website, as my still preference is COD.
It's been a long and difficult process, honestly, to move our customers away from COD. Now we've been without any COD. I don't think we've had a single COD order in over a year for sure, and it's all digital payments. Are actually predominantly being sold offline were at the gate, but the ones that weren't were being sold at supermarkets. And so it was obviously a painful process for the customer, but also that was just the industry. And then you move towards COD,
Yeah.
and that was probably 95% of our orders. And we slowly scaled it down. And then COVID again was another blessing for us. So we were able to, let's say, play the sanitary aspect.
Yeah.
Okay, we had to try and make it kind of difficult for the customer as well for a bit, honestly, because we were advising our event organizers that you need to, well, if there are any COD returns, for example, there there are costs for that.
Yeah.
And so we would
Definitely.
pass on those costs for the event organizer. We'd say, look, you will have to bear those costs.
Okay.
And that cost used to be, more than our commission even. And so we weren't able to bear it. And we would tell them, okay, bhai, you bear it, please.
Yeah.
And so a lot of them would automatically opt out. And we would see that customers would be okay with it. Initially, there was some pushback. Karachi Eat was a turning point for us in that.
Yeah, because there were like long queues for the COD thing.
So that was an event where people knew that they had to stand in line for a very long time. I think
An
people,
hour.
yeah,
I remember standing for an hour.
an hour was great. I mean, I think it was like 3-4 hours for a lot of people. If you went at the wrong time, easy 4 hours. And so it was somewhere where there was demand, and it was a very painful process, and we could solve for that. But COD meant a lot of returns, and I mean, we would have gone into a loss as well. And so we spoke to the organizers, and obviously just off the bat of COVID, and so there
Yeah.
was just, like I said, the sanitary angle and whatnot. And so we announced that all tickets would be available online only, and it was just going to be online payments, no COD. So when we did that, and Karachi Eat's audience is
Massive. It's huge.
yeah, it's massive, but it's all types of people,
Yeah.
right? And because of that, we noticed that we had, I don't know, something like 10,000 orders or so within a few hours, and it was all online payments. And because it was the only option for people,
Yeah.
they knew, okay, we can't buy tickets at the gate, we can't do COD,
So
we
we
can't buy
can
it.
like
If we
buy
want
it
to go,
online.
we have to buy it online. And so they tried it, and everything was fine. And so we realized that, look, if people don't have that option, they will use
Use it.
use
Yeah.
it. And we started implementing that, with our organizers and
Organize.
so
Yeah.
forth. And it worked, and over time we just completely scaled it out, and now it's not an option. And I don't think anyone has actually even asked us for COD in over a year.
That's nice.
Not a
That's
single
amazing.
customer has asked for COD in over a year. It's just become a standard now for our platform, and it makes sense if you think about it, for sure.
Obviously, it's doable, but again, it's all about building brand awareness, product awareness. Not in just like Karachi or Lahore, Islamabad, the cities. It's there. But again, if I want someone in Hunza or someone in Sawat, Peshawar to not opt for COD, that's gonna take time. Again, targeting tier 3 is hard.
So you need to, in my opinion, another thing that we did was we made it more expensive.
How did that work?
Yes, that worked, because we have a very price conscious market. And so we made COD more expensive. And so if you wanted COD, we would do it, but it would cost you more for the tickets. And so that was also off-putting for the customer. And so they would try and save that,
Yeah.
whatever 200 or 250 rupees it was, and pay online. And once they've paid online once and it worked and it was fine and there were no issues, they'll do it again next time
They'll
as
do it
well.
again and again.
And so it was a combination of all these different things that we did to, move out
Move
COD.
ahead. Yeah.
But again, when it's a physical product, आपको deliver तो करना ही है ना. Anyway, you have to deliver. In our case, we don't have to deliver anything.
It's right there. हमें मिल जाता है.
Yeah, immediately you pay and you get your e-ticket within seconds.
So it's easier for both the consumer and for you guys.
Exactly.
Thank you for joining us in the very first episode of Unscripted with Pepa. See you all next time in the second episode.